singing in a choir, participating in a choir, being part of that body of sound is a physically exciting thing to be involved in, because your whole being is aware that you're part of this, you are part of the sound waves.
The voice is an absolutely on-the-heart instrument. Nothing stands in between you and what you're trying to express as a musician.
You're not hiding behind your instrument. You're not even an actor hiding behind your makeup or your costume or your character. It's just you singing. And I think that is why it's a very special thing, singing.
There are all sorts of choirs in Oxford, and some require a considerable commitment of time. At New College we sing 6 services a week. To say on 6 days of the week, this is where I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to be doing, is a lot more than most undergraduates get to say about any other activity. So here it is, planted in their daily routine, and that's why we get results. It's disciplined, it's regular and committed work.
I think it's useful to remember it as being work, and kind of to remember that in some senses you're being paid for it, and it is important to take it seriously. I think I've upset my neighbours this year. I don't think they like me very much at all, because I try to practice at reasonable hours, but sometimes you inevitably practice at about 10 o'clock at night when you have time. So no, they're not always so friendly about that.
Lots of first-year choral scholars start off kind of hiding in the corner. Most of them haven't had a chorister upbringing. The repertoire is predominantly new to, I'd say, kind of 50%, and they have to develop an excellent sight reading standard, even just at the end of their first term.
A few weeks into this lot here, they're going to make a recording. They're going to be on tour as a professional group. That's huge. That's a long way to go. And so I think if you would describe my job in that first term, as anything as a sort of ringmaster, sort of whipping them into shape, if not literally. We sometimes actually have to shut off what we might be feeling about the music, not least because you have to judge things technically to get them to work. Yet at the same time, we can all be moved by what we've done, and that comes unexpectedly. You know you've had this experience, you know, think, oh, and you sort of think, where did that come from? And it came from what you've done. So you know, you can be as deeply touched as anybody.
The fact is, singing this music, often which was written with a very deep faith in the first place, I think of perhaps Bach or Handel, these were men with devout faith that wrote this music. It's hard not to be touched by a spiritual dimension in this music, even if you would say, well, I may not be a Lutheran from 1700 Leipzig, as he was, but I can appreciate that there is a spiritual dimension in this music. And I think that's how it works. I don't think it would have lasted 900 years as a tradition if all it was a sort of single approach to one faith, endlessly repeating this idea.
People have built that church. People have furnished it. People have made the woodwork. People have built the organ. All sorts of things have happened which contribute. And we can't be saying that every single one of those people must have been a thoroughly convinced Christian to have done what they've done. And a lot of people have contributed to the history and function of Christianity who've been skeptics or non-believers, but who've been happy to support this activity. You have to have a lively interest in it and a warm feeling towards it, at least, if you're not a fully subscribing member of that religious community. But it's important to understand that we can embrace a wider section of the community when we do this.